Well, today is the day that ABQ Health Partners and Lovelace Health Plan will part ways.
But some patients may be catching a little break depending on which side they're sticking with here. News 13's David Romero is out at live at the ABQ Health Partners in Northeast Albuquerque with more. So David, you looked into this. What is going on here exactly?
Matt, it's a very complicated issue, but they are severing ties after 5 years now. There is some relief for patients that are still attending here at ABQ Health Partners, or they want to stick with Lovelace. Of course, they can still receive medical treatment and be covered, but time is critical for them to either find a new doctor or a new health insurance plan. So here's how it's going to break down. If folks want to stay here with ABQ Health Partners, or stay with an ABQ Health doctor rather, ABQ will pay their doctor's visits until they get new insurance or until the end of this year. Now, if they want to stay with Lovelace's insurance, Lovelace says it'll help them find a new doctor, but they aren't covered under ABQ Health anymore after today. It was a couple of weeks back when the hundreds of thousands of patients received word that ABQ Health Partners and Lovelace would be severing their 5-year relationship. That, of course, gave way to lawsuits and complaints from both sides, and it sent patients trying to move as fast as possible to secure having a doctor to see and insurance to cover it.
As we're driving over here today, my husband said, I think we better stay with the ones we have. So we got doctors yesterday, and today we're staying with the doctors we have.
And of course, litigation between the two companies remains in court at this time. We spoke to both sides, and both say their aim is, of course, to look out for the well-being of the patients and in maintaining care for them, whatever choice they decide to make. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you for the update, David. Now, if you have questions about all of this, we'll have links to ABQ Health Partners and Lovelace's health insurance company's website a little bit later this morning at KRQE.com. Click on the Morning Show tab. Well, you're probably going to see a lot of people outside of UNM Hospital later today because the workers union there is having what it calls an informational picket. The National Union of Hospital Healthcare Employees says it wants everyone to know about the working conditions at UNM and give them an update on contract negotiations with the management. They've been going on since May. The workers are set to be outside from 11 this morning until 1 this afternoon. The Albuquerque police are now doing everything they can to find some dangerous gear stolen from a detective's undercover truck. The Albuquerque Journal is reporting that Zach Stevenson was golfing in Southeast Heights back on October 26th and had his police semi-automatic assault rifle, a flashbang grenade, and a shotgun that fires taser darts stolen, along with his personal bulletproof body armor. The Journal says the truck was locked and the gear was covered, but not locked up. Now, we did some checking this morning and found out that Detective Stevenson shot a man a few years ago after that man pointed a gun at him. Elizabeth?
This morning, the official ballot count begins in Sandoval County. We know that. What we don't know is how the county plans on preventing this mess you just saw on Election Day. Several hundreds of county residents had to wait in line for hours to vote on Tuesday. There were only 5 voting centers with a total of 15 ballot printing machines in place. This is footage from Tuesday. Last night, a lot of those voters attended the county canvassing board meeting to try and get some answers, but they were all told that they would have to wait for those answers. They even refused to answer our questions. Rio Rancho leans Republican, and many voters think that the county's Democratic election officials created this mess on purpose.
If people perceive that something is not right, then it's not right.
County officials say they requested more ballot printers, but were denied because of state budget issues. The Secretary of State says that's not true.
We're finally hearing from 2 of the state Senate leaders who Governor Susana Martinez tried to give the boot to on Tuesday. She succeeded in getting 2 high-profile Democrats out, Senate President Tim Jennings and Majority Whip Mary Jane Garcia. The governor's PAC went after Jennings and Senate Majority Leader Michael Sanchez, spending a lot of money on ads against them. Now, despite that, Sanchez still got reelected.
I'd love to be able to work with her if she would ever tell us what her agenda really is.
Her agenda is. The agenda is he hasn't read it. It's a problem.
All right, and then we have there Tim Jennings. He'd been in the state Senate for 34 years, but is not anymore.
This is a little discouraging for me because this brings the politics of hate and destruction down to the state level, which we've always tried to avoid in the Senate.
Cliff Pirtle, a farmer in Pecos Valley, is replacing Mr. Jennings. Pirtle says his 2 goals next year are to repeal the law that gives illegal immigrants driver's licenses and work on the state's education system, 2 of the governor's main goals. Now Pirtle is hoping Jennings will help mentor him.
It's something that we need to stop and just say, you know, thank you for 34 years of work and dedication to this area, and I just hope that as a senator I can gain the trust and respect of the constituents as he has.
Democrats still have control of the Senate. Will pick a new leader sometime soon. Elizabeth.
You can soon say goodbye to the Hard Rock Casino outside of Albuquerque. Well, sort of. The casino on the Isleta Pueblo will stay put, but the name will change. The Pueblo decided to change the name of the Isleta Hotel and Casino to the Hard Rock Casino 2.5 years ago, hoping to boost revenue, but that never happened. And the Isleta Pueblo has been paying $1 million a year for the Hard Rock name. So the Pueblo recently decided to terminate the contract and move forward with an Isleta branded casino.
Our guests, the feedback has been we loved Isleta. We really loved Isleta. So we're going to try and integrate that back in, but with a different sense of flair and style.
There is no word yet on what the new name and look will be, but we're told you can expect to see some changes within the next few months.
They'll also be changing the name of the Hard Rock Pavilion, the amphitheater that's out on Mesa del Sol. Hopefully they can still keep bringing in some big acts.
Those
They have
big
great concerts there during the
yeah.
summer.